Yo, Hayden, why haven't you been posting? Alright, so I haven't been posting in a while, and there's a few reasons for that, and that's also applying to my Instagram and my Facebook page. Number one, the YouTube videos stopped coming because after I made that synchronicity video, I went to go make a video about, what you're thinking about, you start to bring about, and I was thinking about synchronicities a lot right after I made the video, and synchronicities kept happening, and I've made 3 videos already since then, and just more things keep on happening. I'll probably save all of those for another video, but there is one synchronicity that I kind of want to go over. It's a small one. So I was on Facebook the other day, and I don't tend to watch live streams, but I ended up clicking on this one guy's live stream, and he was talking about a bunch of stuff that honestly I feel that y'all would love. And so I hit him up and I said, hey, if you want to be featured in one of my videos, just shoot me a 1 to 7 minute video on your phone and, I'll put you on here. He said it sounds great and he hasn't hit me back up yet, so I don't know about that. Either way, I go to bed and I wake up the next day and our good old buddy Khail hits me up and he says, hey, I want you to go like my new page, The Way. And so I go and like it, and the first video I see, it's about 7 minutes. I see this video, and instantly it popped in my head. That's the one I need to use in my next video. So without further ado, I'm going to let Khail take the mic for now, and then we're going to come back to me, and I'm going to go over it, and then I'm going to add a little bit onto it.
Hi there, my name is Khail Cap, and it is my mission to make the world a happier place. And if you give me about 30 seconds, I'm going to give you the key to becoming a happier person. You don't have to buy anything, you don't have to join or sign up any courses, although I'd like you to follow me a little bit. But I'm going to cut to the chase, and then I'm going to get into some more details, and if you follow me, I'll get deeper and deeper and deeper in other videos. But for now, the key to being happier is being present. And now, you might have heard this from a million people. It's written on every bumper sticker and t-shirt, and every guru is saying it these days, and people have been saying it for thousands of years, and you got to ask yourself, like, what the heck does that mean? Does it mean appreciating the moment? It kind of does. But it can be simpler than that. And the reason why I know that I can give you this this tool to act on immediately, and the reason why I know that it'll have huge effects on you today, tomorrow, and if you give it at least 3 days, it'll really start to change your life completely, is I've learned from experience, and those around me are learning from experience as well. This is simply all that it means. It means that focus on exactly what you're doing. Try to blind out the chatter in your head, the time when you were 6 that you embarrassed yourself, or how you're going to pay the bills next month, or what you're going to wear on that date. Try to blind all that chatter out with exactly what you're doing in the moment right now. I'm walking, and as I'm walking, I can feel the ground underneath my feet. My feet have multiple joints, and as they move, I can feel the little movements inside my feet. I'm breathing, I'm taking a nice deep breath, and as you start to do these things, you'll start to appreciate the things that you're doing. But it doesn't even need to be about appreciation. It should be, and you should get there eventually, but it is about just cutting the chatter out of your head and knowing that the past and the future don't exist and they don't matter, and really the only thing that matters is what you're doing in the present moment. So if you start right this second, right when you get off of this video, just focusing on what you're doing, and kind of narrate it in your head, give yourself sort of the Winnie the Pooh narrator voice, or whatever. I like Morgan Freeman, so have him narrating your entire life. You'll start to get happier. Give it 3 days, and that's it. You can act on that right away. And please let me know what you think. I'm curious to hear how it works out for you. But if I dive a little bit deeper, I believe that it was Deepak Chopra in one of his books I was listening to recently, who said that Freud said that was a key to people being happier, that if they could just simply narrate every single thing that they did as the day went on, that they could become enlightened, something along those lines. And you wouldn't believe how difficult it is, because we are not in control of our thoughts. So, you're sitting there and you're thinking, I'm walking, I'm breathing, I'm touching this, I'm eating this, I'm doing that, and then all of a sudden something pops up in your head, and the more you practice this, the more you might realize that you're really not in very much control, and it's no wonder that you're not as happy as you'd like to be, or as happy as you think you should be. A couple of things I want to talk about is, let's see, some good actions to start narrating. Anything that you do habitually that doesn't require any sort of thought. So brushing your teeth is a really good one. Try to think about how you're brushing your teeth. Your teeth will be cleaner, and you'll actually enjoy it and appreciate that moment better. And you might be saying, like, Khail, well, if I'm thinking about all these things, how will I focus on all the stuff that I need to get done? When I get lost? Well, the thing is your brain is amazing, and it already has all this stuff figured out. We think that we're figuring things out in our brain, but we're not, because those thoughts are already in our head. So we really actually don't have to think about anything. Our brain's already wired and ready to go. By cutting out this chatter, you're actually going to become smarter, more peaceful, and definitely a heck of a lot more likable, and your teeth are going to be cleaner. When you're eating, you can focus on what you're eating, how you're chewing, what it tastes like, swallowing, breathing, walking, driving. Driving's probably a really good one. I don't think we pay enough attention to driving at all. So try practicing these for 3 days and see how long you can go, and see how often you can go, and don't get down on yourself if you get sidetracked. It's definitely going to happen. Just keep up with it and see how you feel, and share this video. Follow me along this journey if you want to become a happier person, and let me know what you think. Send me an email, send me a Facebook message, and I don't want to talk too much. 5 minutes is good. I'll talk about this stuff for an hour. We can talk about thoughts and the past and the future and all that kind of stuff next time. But let me know what you think. Thanks, guys.
Okay, so I want to backtrack and go over a few things that he mentioned that I really liked. Number one, he was talking about blinding all the chatter from your mind. This includes not only your own internal voice, but I'd say also what other people say that you need to do, all the opinions, all the negativity. This goes with what you read, with what you see. You have the choice in your mind to let it come at you or go away. And we're going to also bring this back up whenever I bring up one of the next points. But he was talking about, walking and being aware. And a big thing about being aware is that a lot of people think they're aware, but they're really not. If I was to walk down the road with you and we were talking, and at the end of the walk, maybe a block or two down the road, I was to say, hey, what color was the third house? You might be like, I don't know. And it could have been an off color like baby blue or something like that. So when we say be aware, what do we exactly mean? Well, I can't get too deep into it in this video because that's a whole nother topic. But if you want to start noticing the difference of being aware rather than not being aware, I would say go on walks, don't be on your phone, and just notice everything. Take everything in, all 5 senses, not only just what you see, notice things you'd never even notice. Keep the ears open. Start listening for sounds, little things. You might hear words. Who knows? Also, smells. Now, tastes if you're, out at a restaurant, but he's talking about being in the present moment. When you're right here, right now, be up here, right now, up here. Don't be off in the past worrying about, like he said, sometime you embarrassed yourself when you were 6 years old or 10 years old or something. Focus on the now. We went over this in the second part of the happiness track video on living in the present moment and how it can save you a ton of stress and also make you a lot happier. Living in the present moment also boosts your productivity. It helps in so many ways, and so this is a very important point. Next point. All right, so the second point is that you're not in control of your thoughts. He mentions this as almost a side effect to once you start doing the work, you'll notice. And this is honestly true that a lot of us aren't in control of our own thoughts, because otherwise, would you not want to be happy all the time? And if you were in control of them, would you even have any negative thoughts? And so once you start doing what he's saying, and especially this is what I say whenever I say filter in the positive and negative thoughts. Every negative thought, I reject that thought. Say it out loud. Say it in your head. It works better out loud. Every time you have a positive thought, I accept that thought. Same thing. And so while you're doing this, you'll notice that you'll get a lot of thoughts that you're wondering, why am I having these thoughts? Why am I bringing this into my mind? Because your kingdom, your whole world really exists up here. You can be sitting somewhere, as I've said before, having the time of your life. You're practically in heaven. And then a thought can come in there, and bam, within a second, you're in hell. And so once you practice the things that Khail's telling you to do, you'll start to notice these things. You'll start to notice, wow, I'm not really in control of my thoughts. I'm not really in control of my emotions. And before I get on anymore, I want to just go ahead to the next point. Whenever he talks about narration, narrating everything in your head. Now, when you're filtering out thoughts or when you're also trying to blind the chatter, it can kind of be hard to narrate with the right voice in your head. As I've said, you kind of have two voices in your head. And so if the narration technique doesn't work for you, try completely cutting off everything, which is going to be a lot harder, so I would just go ahead with the narration side. But if that does not work for you, cut off everything and just become the observer. That's it. It's that simple, but it's the hardest thing in the world. It's almost like meditating. People love to do it, but they can't get the time to sit down for 5 minutes and quiet peace. And so that's all that I want to mention from this video. There was nothing that I disagreed with whatsoever in it, to be honest. But here's what I wanted to add on. And so there's a lot of people that are living in chaos, whether it's external or internal in your mind. All the things people are screaming at you in your head, what you need to do, all your regrets, everything. They don't matter. Just like he said, be in the present moment. If you're worrying about that, you're not in the present moment, because right now, literally right now, if you're paying attention to me, none of those things that are in your head are going on. Now, there's certain circumstances, like if you're like, my dog's really sick. Yes, your dog's still sick, and, kind of get that fixed. But anyways, cut out every negative thought. Cut out all the doubt. Doubt, as I've said before, whenever you're wanting to manifest whatever you want, doubt, worrying, all these things will kill every last chance you'll have to manifest or attract what you want. And so you really do have to work at these things. And so a lot of people are in chaos, and it's really hard to find balance. And so this is what I wanted to add on this video of how you can find balance in the midst of all the chaos in the world, including your head. Now, this goes to a lot of you people that are easily angered, saddened. You get pissed off really easily over anything. It could be somebody honking at you in traffic. These things really just add salt to the chocolate, and it's going to get bitter, and it's going to get nasty in your head, and then you're going to be manifesting terrible things. And so, as I've said, filter out the thoughts. And why do we filter out the thoughts? Well, as I've said, everything starts in the mind. Everything that manifests starts up here. So you need to clean this part up first before, it goes into the emotion and out into the universe. Bam, the manifestation. And so if you're one of those people that you're just emotional and you mood swing too easily back and forth, this is why we filter in the thoughts, because the thoughts are what cause the emotions. You see, when a salesman is trying to sell you something, he goes for your emotions. Most of the time, he will try to make you feel insecure about something for you to pay $1 to fix it. And that's how you do it. And so you need to do the same thing with your own head. You need to sell the idea, not of your insecurity, but of how great you are. Because as I've said, you are a light to the world and those around you. I want you all to go out and not just be a light to your friends, your family, people that you don't know, people that might be angry in public. You see, you could be at work, you could be serving somewhere, and someone comes in and they're pissed off. And this is why people would ask me, they'd be like, why don't you, why doesn't it upset you when people come in mad? I'd tell them, I don't know what happened before they walked through that door. Their parents could have died, they could have just gotten divorced. I don't know what happened and I don't judge, and so there's no reason for me to then add negativity to the situation and be upset that they're upset. It is my job to lift people up. It is my goal in life to heal the broken. That's one of my biggest goals here. And so once you start controlling your thoughts, as Khail said, you'll notice you're not in control of your thoughts. Start focusing on the ones that you know are right, because once you control the thoughts up here, you'll be able to control the emotions. And once you control the emotions, even in the midst of chaos, your world tumbling down, you will still be standing strong, iron-legged into the ground, whatever it is, whatever metaphor you want to think of. You're going to be able to tackle problems, stresses, worries. Where you won't have worries. That's the thing. You get into this habit almost. Instead of being in the habit and rolling down of negativity, you are constantly just going up. And also while you're doing that, you're lifting other people up too. And so when you're in public or you're around people and things are like making you upset, think to yourself, why exactly are you upset? What is it about that even really truly matters to you? Because a lot of people get upset about Facebook posts, opinions, like things that you will forget within the next 4 hours. So start to notice every little thing you start, jumping to, not necessarily in a conclusion type of way, but start noticing what kind of pulls you off balance, kind of hits you up the side. And so when these people come at you with these negative charges, because someone will either come at you with a positive or a negative charge, your best bet is to bounce it off and at least try to send them a positive charge back if you can't yet. Because a lot of people that get really swingy, it's hard for them not only to not let things get to them, but it's also hard to be able to send that positivity back. And so it does take practice. And so a big thing about not getting, unbalanced in the midst of chaos is to, as Khail said, be in the present. Stop being up here, because if you're all up in your head and you start thinking negatively and you start getting almost to a bad mood, you're almost at the veil, all it's going to take is somebody to come along and say something that you just don't like, or, they might be joking around and it throws you off. And so you can't let these things happen, because this is only going to screw you in the end, because everything you think, everything you say, and everything you do will either affect you positively or negatively. And you obviously want positive. And so with all these things that I tell you, Khail tells you, anybody else tells you, all your friends, and you'll know who to listen to, because these things will actually work, but you have to do them. Don't be stubborn with yourself. Actually try these things. Actually try and make an effort to find the happiness in things. Don't be stubborn with yourself, because it doesn't end well. And even when the world's crashing around you, if you practice these things, you'll be able to find your center. You'll be able to find your ground, your balance. And you'll be able to tackle anything that comes at you, and it won't knock you off. And so this video is trailing on. I want to mention a few things. Number one, I don't know if I'm going to do this whole featuring people in my videos a lot. It's something that I've wanted to do for a while, because I mentioned back in my Wealth and Prosperity series that I'm trying to build community. I might make a forum one day where, we can all get on there. We can all interact, because I love interaction. And so I want to bring some new faces to Milk and Honey. Now, I'm not going to put on every video that gets sent to me. Even now, even though I only have a few subscribers, I'm going to pick out ones that have to do with what I'm about to talk about. But also, if you send me something that I haven't thought of, that's a really good idea too. So send in all your videos. Make it anywhere from like 1 to 7 minutes tops. Talk about something you're passionate about, what you have to say to the Milk and Honey audience about success, happiness, how to find, your balance. And so anything that you're really passionate about, anything that could help somebody out there, because the whole world needs help. Everybody does. Send those in, and you might have a chance to see them on here. And also, I'm going to drop some links down in the bottom. You can check out some of Khail's stuff. I think he's going to start making videos now. I really think he should. I think you should all go over there and tell him that he should make videos. You got a great hook, Khail. And so go over there, go down to the bottom, go to the links, go like my Facebook page. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, and make sure you share it to help out all the other people you want to help, you know what I'm saying? And also, click right here to subscribe, right here, I'm going to put my last video, and right here, I'm going to probably put the video before that. So, I will for you all to prosper. It's good to see you again, and have a great day.